Yes, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy and welcome to the Young Media Professionals Podcast Show, where we have entrepreneurs and investors share their experience and advice with us. Today our special guest is Kenisha York and she will be sharing her knowledge with us today. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
So I have you today because you're an entrepreneur and I want you to let the people know a little bit about graphic designing. So I want to start. Tell me something about yourself.
I'm a Caribbean girl, of course. I was born in St. Martin, raised in Angola. And in there, I kind of found from since I was young, I always knew that I loved creativity, no matter what form it was in. It was drawing, sewing, painting. And then eventually I started doing graphic designing for my own. Before I started out with customized cushions for babies.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would like hand paint like Dora and stuff like that, and different characters. And I wanted to be able to advertise my own self without having to go through the expense because I was also young too. So I started like designing my own logo and the website and everything for myself. So with that, I was able to do everything on my own for the business. But then eventually, I was doing a lot because, of course, since I like creativity, it also include fashion designing and crocheting and stuff. So it was too much. I had to make it specific and focus on that area. So I decided to let go to two, which is the customized gifts, cushions, and the fashion area, and just focus on the graphic designing until I build myself with that, so that I can be able to start it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to be more specific, what is graphic designing?
Yeah, graphic designing is anything that is done digitally, to create a design that either complements for your own personal use or for your business.
Okay.
So more or less I can say using technologies like computers, and even now with the smartphones you're also able to graphic design on your phone, on your iPads. So anything that is digitally that will allow you to create a design. Yeah.
Straight. So go to the next. What motivated you to start graphic designing?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, it was I wanted to create my designs for my business with the customized pillows. So that is what motivated me in the beginning for me to do it on my own and have to take out some of the expenses that I would have to gone through with having to find a graphic designer. And I started when I was around 15, so it was enough time for me to experiment and play while I was still in school. So that's how I ended up learning and stuff like that, yeah.
And having now what you like to do into a business, what was the different feeling that you have it now as a business?
I was meant to do something like this because right now I study communication and media. So I was able to implement the designing part as well as the communication. I like communication a lot. Being able to see how it influences people and allow them to make a change. So incorporating the two was nice. But I have to admit I was more interested in the designing part of the study. So now being able to use it as a job, I feel like my purpose in school is being fulfilled. It's not just for a waste. Yeah.
And what was the steps that you took to start your business, like the specific steps?
It was a lot of steps, but it wasn't pertaining to graphic design. The graphic design was just an addition to the business that I had. First, I invested in learning about graphic designing and how to create logos and designs for people. So that was the first step. And I did it on my own by watching YouTube videos. And there was this free program called GIMP. You know GIMP?
No.
Yeah, it's almost like Adobe, but it's a bit more technical. And that's what I used first. I was learning by myself how to do it. Then I switched over to Adobe and I was like, whoa. It was really exciting because it's a whole new different experience using it. So that was that, and then I started creating designs for friends at first, like people who want logos and stuff like that. And then I went on different websites like Guru and Fiverr. Back then, Fiverr would charge only €5 for a design. So that's when I was, that was a lot. because it's like you have to put a lot of energy. But because of that, I had experience with my design, so that I was able to show other people my work. So that was, I would say, more or less that's the steps: learning on my own first, and then checking other platforms that allow you to sell, through it. Because sometimes I might not be able to get people on my own. So you go on these platforms. There are a lot of people are looking for designs, and you put in your inquiries, or some people might even look for you, and then that's how it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Do you have motivation? Who motivates you to work hard every day in your business?
I guess some experiences.
Experience.
I was hustling to get my school uniforms, my school books. I was just motivated to already finish and accomplish something. Then I finished that. I went on to do my associates, because it's like, okay, I need to keep doing something to elevate myself. I just don't want to be at a point where now I finished school and I'm getting a regular job. I want to start thinking about myself. So that was one motivation. The second motivation was working for people. That really changed my whole mindset. And I remember this one time I was teaching. I got a really good job, and they was cutting the salary, and I wasn't agreeing with it. So I told the lady, that it's really crazy to cut our salary in half, because I also had my responsibilities. At the time I was in Angola, I didn't have a child. And she said, there are many people who are waiting for a job, and you can get replaced like this. And I was like, okay, well, if I start thinking that I can get my own job, I don't have to worry about people having to tell me these kind of things. So that was one.
And I know in everything you do, it always have a language. So I would want to know in graphic designer. So when you look at more graphic designers, what would you say that a graphic designer must know, or what a graphic designer must do in order to become one?
The most important question is, what can you do as a graphic designer to satisfy the needs of your customers?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Think about what they want, and sometimes they don't even know what they want themselves. It's up to you to create that the image of what they want, using the colors, which colors to use, which colors will represent their brand, which fonts will represent their brand. For certain things, certain fonts you can't use. You know what I mean? You can't use a child's font on a lawyer's page. Certain things like that you have to take into consideration. Yeah.
And I know we have a little one with us, and we have so who is the little one?
The little one is Mr. Vivian.
Welcome to the
Say hello,
podcast.
Mama. Say hello, girl.
We're glad to have her here as well. But for someone that wants to be a graphic designer and don't know where to start, what would you advise them?
I would say don't get into it just because you want to make an income. Make sure it's something that even if it's something that you want to have an income, you have to have values that at the end of the day, it's for your customers, your reputation that you want to uphold. Just not to, invest in research, learn what is going on out there, the trends, learn about colors, learn about shapes and designs, even though it's very flexible, but at least you have the basic and the foundation to start. Find ways to enhance your skill, like the program that I use, because it can be expensive using Adobe Photoshop, and fortunately for me, because I'm in school, I get it on a discount, but some people can't still pay the whole fee, so you can look for other platforms that you can work around in and see, how to use it first, and then when you get a hang of it and you feel like you're making money with it, then you can invest in the more expensive programs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing advice. For I know a lot of people want to do things just for the money, and not because they're passionate for what they're doing. So, it's something to really think about. Graphic designer. Every time I think about graphic design, I always think about things on the wall. Would you say your business has to do with employing people that could do graphic designs on walls and stuff like that?
No, it wouldn't be employing, but in the future I want to be able to teach people how to graphic design to create their own digital business that they can make sales from.
Wow.
And when people hear about graphic design, they think only logos and stuff like that. No, it's much more. It's birthday flyers, birthday banners, social media work, you know what I mean, handbooks and stuff like that. So this is the area that I'm more interested in. like teaching people how to create their own digital products so that they can have financial stability. But of course, it's going to take some time for me to reach to that stage. Yeah, for now, what I'm working on is creating a stream of income while I sleep. So that's basically creating templates that people can buy.
Wow.
This is online, so it's already automated. So when they buy it, they just get the link and I don't have to do anything except for just create the designs. So that's what I'm in the process of. And then when I can build myself with that, then I'll be able to teach other people how to do it. Yeah.
That's amazing. And right now, do you do everything yourself or do you have people that will help you?
Yeah, I do everything myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And from, because I also have, which you can see, I have my own polo shirts and stuff like that. But what I would want to know is that, so like the flyers, do you order certain stuff from other companies or just you prepare most of those things yourself?
I would do the design and usually I would give it to them, or if they want, I tell them where they can go and get it printed or I make it printed for them if they want me to handle everything. So I do contact other organizations. I'm in the process of wanting to collaborate with businesses where if I make flyers or designs for people, maybe I can send them to the business to get a percentage off for them or something like that, or a commission. So I'm mostly in the phase of networking and collaborating. Yeah.
And what was your most difficult design that you did so far?
I wouldn't say I have difficult design. The one that I impressed myself with was a tiger mascot. I think it's not so difficult if you put your mind up to it. You know what I mean? The most difficult part about being a graphic designer is dealing with people, difficult people who are always nitpicking and trying to be perfectionist. And it's also teaching me too, because sometimes I might skip on details and this person would come back, no, it's change it, no, to the left a little bit, no. So it's like now it makes me more aware to be more observant about details as well. Yeah. So I don't necessarily look at it in a negative light. It's just that I put myself to the test and sometimes I'm shocked by, or even amaze myself at the end result because of it. Yeah.
I hear you talk about focusing on clients, and it seems like you have a lot of self-discipline and a lot of patience to do what you gotta do, and then plus you do so much on your own. Do you have any remedies or any ways that you can also tell the people that keeps you that patient or that discipline? Like what do you have? Like if it's you write things down or
I don't write it down. I just learn from the last experiences. Because sometimes I get clients that make me want to say, you know what? Let me just scratch this design. It's fine. You don't have to pay me. But I'm learning now to just pull through with it and then create another strategy with the next time. Yeah. So, for example, if I have a difficult client, what I would do, I would send them, hey, I hope you're satisfied with your design. If you like, you can leave me a tip, 10, 15, 20 euros. And chances are they might do it because they know they were difficult. And if they didn't, the next time they come to me, I'll say, you know what, I can't take on your project. So I still work with them because at the end of the day, even though the client, they can get people to me who might not be so difficult. Wow. Yeah, so it's just about sticking through with it. And I had to teach myself that a lot because I'm usually the type of person, I don't like to take nonsense, you know? So I really, for my reputation and my brand, I had to adjust a bit. Yeah.
And to put it out there, what's the name of your brand?
It's Kenisha York Designs.
Kenisha York Design. Yeah. And where can people find you?
Well, I have a website. It's niche, Niche, yorkdesigns.com. Okay. And right now I'm trying to focus on creating templates and limiting the amount of designs that I have to do with people to less compact so I will have more time to, I just have more time for myself. And
on social media, can people also find you on Facebook and Instagram?
But I'm more active on Instagram.
Okay.
But now I'm deciding to take a step back, and that was even a hard decision for me because I still have to finish my thesis and I had to make a decision because with my thesis, I'm even finding the motivation to work, but with my graphic designing, I can go on all day,
Okay.
all day.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to find that balance,
Yeah.
and just finish one thing at a time. Yeah.
The end goal, the mission. So like 3-5 years from now, with graphic design in the business, what's the goal?
My goal is to have over, if I can, 500 templates on my website so that people can download and pay for, so I can have a revenue stream coming in.
Sure.
And still dealing with clients and customers, because I do like working with other people still, but at least I don't have to feel as if I have to, because I have because I need an income, because I have it from the automated. So that's the next goal. I want to have that.
Yeah.
And I want to have that so that I'll be able to focus on her some more.
Yeah.
And then just travel. Not always first class sometimes, but just to be able to see the world in a different perspective, because I also like learning about different cultures and personalities, and I think that's why I like the study that I do too, because we have to learn about diversity, how we communicate to people of different cultures. Because even I deal with people who might be from the States or from France, I have to also know how they deal, how I deal with them, and what things I can say or cannot say that may offend them, or just yeah.
And you also told me before the podcast about Facebook management. So how do you work with Facebook?
Social media in terms of Instagram. Yeah. I don't work on Facebook so much, even though it's there, but I always encourage people to have the most important information on Facebook, because when they're scrolling, they can see the most valuable point, and then they put a lot of stuff on Instagram. Because the Facebook algorithm changed a lot drastically, and now it's about creating creating valuable content. Like for example, with the Instagram algorithm, if you make a post, and in the first they show you the first 10% of your followers, and if they don't interact with it, it drops. The more people interact with it, the more it shows to other people. So the goal is to create images that are appealing, valuable content that somebody can always learn with each post. So that's the goal of it.
So before we go, I wanted to ask you, what's your average price and what's your average time that you do get your graphic designing done?
The price depends. Some people have different budgets. So I would have one that costs 80 euros, and that's for a simple logo design on a business card. So simple meaning that I might not put as much effort into the detail, even though it will be a decent logo that you can have for your brand. And then there will be a complex design, which is about 120 euros, and it's a little bit more detailed. So I might incorporate an art element into the words. Like for example, I did a logo for a lady called Carolina's Delight, and the H was made out of those rolling sticks, rolling pins, and then I incorporate the words into it. So something like that. But the simple package, it would just be the words and then a little art element. So it all depends on the budget. And then I would have the cartoon characters, which would start from 180 and up. It all depends on what people want. I try to keep it a little bit reasonable, especially for businesses that just start up, because I'm a graphic designer, it costs a lot of money. And it's well deserved, because it can take a lot of time,
and creativity.
In it, because the steps I take, at first, you create sketches, but I do unlimited sketches until you're really satisfied with it. When that's the case, then we go to the digital version. So, and that would be the hardest part, is coming up with the idea itself and designing it. So I would say, if it's on a good day, I would say I can finish one in less than 2 hours. But if it's really a difficult, a complicated project, it can take a little bit more. Yeah.
And before we go, can you tell something to my followers and my viewers, something you say, this have to be said before you leave?
Whatever you want to do, you have to invest in it. Some people like to start a project and be like, okay, it's not working for me, and we go into something else. But you can't get better at something if you just keep changing it. You know, research, find out the trends. Even if you think for a second and it might not work, just look, for example, at all the brands that's on the shelves. You know what I mean? So many people are selling those. Why can't you do the same? It's all about how you communicate the value that you have in yourself as a business person, what you want people to know about you, and just keep going for it, you know. And then there are always going to be people who are going to be like, no, it's not a good idea. Go with your gut feeling. If it's something that you want to do it. Research, find out more about it. And two, have people in your circle with the same mindset. Because those who are telling you not, most likely they don't have the same business mindset as you do. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
You guys hear it first. Kenisha. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
York. This is the end of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys want any rest content, be free to leave your opinion below. And if you haven't watched any of the other podcast shows, be free to subscribe and check them out. Peace out.